Alright. It says we're live. Let's find out. Let me check this. Yes, we are. Awesome. Alright, let me just get onto this here. Okay. Hello everyone, Ace here. Welcome to the live stream today. It's going to be a little bit different. I was going to be doing a comic book, but Xerus is not able to make it, and neither is Osmogon. So instead, how about we actually play some Wargame Red Dragon? Because I know some people have indeed been asking for that, or asking what the game is actually. So I figured now is as good a time as any to actually highlight that. But to start off, let's actually go over a brand new news update regarding the new upcoming DLC the new news for the DLC, which has just come out. South African infantry gameplay. So here we are, and actually, you know what? As an extra convenience, I can boot up the game here real quick and run it in the background while I show you some of the things that are in this new DLC. So we will get into the armory here in preparation, because I did see some stuff. Okay, so let's have a look here. This is the unit portraits for the various new units, some of the new infantry units that we'll be seeing. And we actually get a description here. The Bokop are your regular foot soldiers. So they're going to be coming in Buffalo, Casper, Rattel, and Pumas, equipped with the South African variant of the FNFAL, the RPG-7, and the Brin. So a very standard-ish setup for early-era infantry. A fairly standard setup for early-era infantry, at least when it comes to Commonwealth, like with the exception of the RPG-7, of course. However, they do get the Galil, which is, of course, an Israeli weapon, along with the FT5 and the FN Mag. Now, the FT5 is something that's new coming to South Africa specifically, so that's going to be their newer late-era anti-tank law, so we'll see how that goes. So the McBack are your armored troops, so guys that you'll be getting in your armored and mechanized decks. They'll be using the Rattels mainly, from what it looks like, and they will be getting a variant of both the FNFAL and the Galil called the R2 and R5. They'll also be using the LRAC F1 instead of the RPG-7, which is interesting because that is a French weapon, and the SS-77. I think I've seen the SS-77 before in the game, just not entirely sure. But for comparison's sake, let's actually have a look and show you what the RPG-7 and the LRAC thing is. Here we are. Actually, it's a pretty decent weapon for what it is. I mean, 19 armor power is pretty good and it's decent range and pretty accurate. So they do actually get a decent law. That's quite nice, actually, for that. I mean, it's not the best out there, but for the tier, it is actually kind of competitive. So that's nice. So let's get back to... So that's what that is. The RPG-7, let me see if I can actually find... I think the Israelis get the RPG-7 as well. No. I know I've seen the... Okay, so here's the 7V that they get. So you can see what it looks like. It's not bad either for what it is. Although that could be the V variant having better stats. I'd have to read through again, admittedly. So yeah, then you get the Parabat, which are the airborne troops. Which is these guys here. They're going to be going in. Well, their whole thing is, of course, dropping from helicopters and then deploying ahead of the lines and all that. So they're going to be for the airborne and motorized decks. So they will get some ground transport options such as the Buffel and trucks, but their main thing is, when you use these guys, is going to be helicopters. They get pretty much the same things as Bocop, with the exception of the R2 instead of the R1, but it's the same thing. And they also get the FT5 and the Mini-Me, or the Mini. That might actually be interesting if they're getting the Mini SS, because that suggests that it might be a CQ, that they might actually get CQC training with that. And if they're going to be regulars, then that is interesting. It's rare for them to, for regular, let me show you what I'm talking about. Training is, so the game actually has training for infantry types. So you have these guys here, Israel, the Ruviet 90s, they have regular training. Their LMGs get the stationary stat. But because these guys are, and it's, by the way, the same LMG, but because these guys are shock trained, they get the CQC tag instead. Now, some nations, such as the Anzacs, for example, get infantry, such as these guys, that are regular trained but still can use CQC. That's the special thing with the Anzacs. So it'll be interesting to see if that is also going to be a theme with the South Africans. So let's move on. And yeah, I know I'm still going through this news update here, but I wanted to cover this before getting in, just to show you guys what this is. So that we got the Buffaloes, which is going to be one of the 2 elite formations that are shown. I'm not sure if they're going to be these guys or these guys, but they're Portuguese-speaking Angolan troops. And it looks like they have 2 variants, if I remember correctly. Yep. So G3s, not bad. The HK-21 and RPG-7, but then they get the AKM, the RPD, and Milans. So they're actually, that's interesting. That means they're going to be a particularly long-ranged anti-tank special forces infantry later. I mean, the Milan isn't fantastic, to use these guys as an example. They do have pretty low AP power, but they do have pretty long range. So if that is what they're getting, that for a special forces unit getting a long range weapon, that might be interesting. Sappers, 5-man squad, that'll be these guys. 5-man is pretty small for a flamethrower unit, especially if you're talking old school flamethrowers, which these guys do get, apparently. Usually when you see the 5-man squads, they are napalm. They're not flamethrowers, but some sort of grenade launcher thingy that sends napalm at guys and whatnot. That means these guys are kind of squishy, unfortunately. Then you have the Burger Mag, which are the militia. I'm guessing these guys, which are R1s and Super Bazooka. Okay, so your typical militia unit. The South Africans do get militia teams, probably militia 1s, so pretty weak on the ATGM line. They do get Strela 2s and 3s, as well as Stingers, curiously enough. So I guess they're kind of okay-ish on the... Well, let me show you what those are. So, let's get in... Let me get out the... The Stinger is actually a pretty decent-ish... depending on if we're talking the A or C variant. But they're still pretty decent-ish. Actually, they're pretty good anti-air units. For man-pads, anyways. Then you have the Strela 2s and 3s. We'll just pull out the Soviet and North Korean decks for comparison's sake. Strela 3s, noticeably weaker and not as accurate and less range, I'm pretty sure. Strela 2s, same but even worse range and accuracy. But yeah, so that is... But they will be likely getting a lot of those. But the Stingers do kind of make up for it, even though those are going to be a prototype unit, meaning you can only get 1 card of those. We got Commandants, which are the command units. Then you have the B-10, which is going to be basically the Type 78 that the Chinese get. So to pull that out, it's this thing, the Type 78. It's a recoilless rifle, so it has good range, but it's an early recoilless rifle, so it does not have particularly good AP power. In fact, it has pretty terrible AP power. Now, the Chinese are known for having decent recoilless, but that's because they get also the PW-80, which has significantly better stats for a recoilless. That said, these guys do also, the South Africans will be getting the Inflict, which is a single 170mm MLRS tube used as pocket artillery. So I'm wondering how exactly that is going to... If that's going to be a recoilless rifle, that probably will be quite interesting to see how that plays out. They might actually have that might actually be a pretty decent weapon. Either it might have better range or more power behind it. I'm not sure, but I'm curious to see how that one plays out. Special Forces and Recon. We have the South African Special Forces. They are equipped with the LRAC F1 and the Strela manpads in earlier versions, but then they replaced them with the Appalachian and the Stinger. Now, we've already seen the Stinger, although curiously, I'm not sure that the 90s variant is a prototype, so we might actually be able to get 2 cards of that. But the Appalachian is actually something that the Finns are known for using. And to pull out the Finns here, the Appalachian, an absolutely terrifying L or LOL to use against tanks. Yeah. It is a LOL, so it is relatively short range, but the damage it does and the rate of fire is pretty terrifying, to say the very least. So these guys, and plus they can shoot, so they can take out both tanks and aircraft. So that makes these guys that makes them kind of similar to the British SAS, I believe. Yeah, similar to the British SAS, who also use the Stinger. The difference is they have an even better law. So they're going to actually be better than the SAS in this regard. So that's interesting. We also get a 2-man sniper, which is going to be basically similar to the Yugoslavian Sinke, which is a... Best way for me to point it out is, here we are. It is a 20mm anti-tank rifle, is what it is. Although it's stat as a sniper rifle, it is basically an anti-tank rifle. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. That's their long-range recon team. And then you get trackers armed with R1s and Bren. Okay, so your typical recon units. And then Pathfinders, which get a grenade launcher. So these guys are probably going to be able to take... These guys are going to be specialized in killing enemy infantry that they run into with that grenade launcher. That's interesting. Now, they also give us information about the vehicles, Semil, soft-skin trucks, Buffalo, light APCs, the Casper. The K-Car, by the way, is not an APC. It is a helicopter, a Rhodesian-designed helicopter. Lions Amen says hello. Hello, Lions Amen. But it looks like the South Africans will be getting that as well as an option. The Ratel, an IFV, which is going... so it includes multiple variants. The 20mm variant with a 20mm autocannon, one with a Milan added, then a 60, which is a 60mm mortar, which I have to wonder if they're actually just listing off multiple variants that are going to be in other tabs and not just the infantry transport. So I don't think that the Ratel 60 is going to be an infantry transport. If it is, then it's going to be really interesting, and so will the Ratel 90, which is going to be a 90mm gun. But I have a suspicion that the Ratel 60 is going to be something like the French 60mm mortars that they use, like this. Especially since we are starting to see some French weapons make it into this. So I'm thinking that's what they're going to be using. And then for the 90mm, it's probably going to be in the vehicle tab. Probably something similar to the, let's see here, this bad boy, the Vickers Mark 11, which technically uses a bigger gun, but similar idea. A very fast-wheeled vehicle that is capable of shooting at tanks. So, let's see. They're also going to be getting the Puma and the upgraded Oryx variant. Okay, so now that we've gotten that all squared away and we've seen the latest bit of news, let's actually get into the game itself. I will actually start off by, well, doing a solo skirmish, and then maybe we'll do a Well, we can do pretty much anything, really. I'm thinking maybe a campaign, a short bit of a campaign, just to show you guys how it plays. So I used an Israeli armored deck as a warm-up, so this time let's try a Dutch-German South Armored, and instead of that, we will pick Soviet Battle Group. We're going to get swarmed with tanks, but we should have pretty good tanks of our own to counter that. So the German-Dutch coalition is what it says on the German-Dutch Corps is a coalition of both German and Dutch units. So you may be wondering, let's see, what exactly my strategy is going to be here. Well, it's an armored deck, so I'm going to be using a lot of tanks. Might actually pull out some of the big boys right out the bat. We'll get 2 Dutch Leopard 2A5s, and do I really want to bring out the German... No, wait. Yeah, I guess I might as well. So we will bring out all the big boys right out the gates. I do want a recon tank, so I'll get a two tank squad of that. We will need some support, though, for these. So I will get some AA here. The good news about the Dutch... Okay, so I do need to talk a little bit about... what do I want? Clusters and napalm, mainly. This thing can technically shoot down aircraft, but I'm not really going to be wanting to rely too heavily on that. So, instead, we will bulk up that. Okay, so we have 2... Actually... We will get ourselves another... So the plan is we'll have these command units take this point, this point, this point. These guys will provide a push straight through the middle. Now, as far as infantry are concerned, we will get some of these units here. The Stuttruppen 95, which are expensive, which is why we're only getting 2 squads of them. Alright, Cheeky Breaky says, hello Ace in chat, I hope you're doing well. I am. We are actually playing some Wargame Red Dragon, just because I have had people asking what exactly it is, so we will be jumping right into it and showing you. We've already covered the latest bit of news regarding the South African update, news update for what we can expect. So this game also, I should mention, has a logistics system too, so your tanks can run out of fuel and ammo. So it's important to keep that in mind because it is a pretty in-depth game, all things considered. Now we don't have any recon helicopters in this deck, however, we don't have the tank destroyer variant of the Apache. That's unfortunate, but I do have a plan. That plan is going to involve, hopefully, once we get into position. So it looks like they are making a move there. We will actually make our push that way. Get a couple of infantry covering this area just in case they decide to try to flank us or something. And then, once that's done, we will try to get some troops positioned here. Okay, it looks like their transports have gone ahead of everything else. So we ooh a command unit. That's going to be a pretty penny when we hit it. Yes. Okay, let's get ourselves some more infantry. Oh, it's just a... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, we've likely panicked them, which is good. Oh, the carnage. Okay, so they've still managed to miss mostly. Or entirely, that's good. They obviously know we have a ton of anti-air stuff and can just ruin their day with that, which is why they have not sent out an airstrike, even though this is a pretty tempting target. Okay. Now, Cheeky Breeky says, funny, that video about the update got me interested in the game, and I've been wanting to look up some gameplay footage to get a closer look. Your stream is perfect for that. Oh, thank you very much. Okay. So now that we've gotten that bit settled, we can now get even more troops here. We are starting to run a little short on those guys, so we will have to start getting our Panzer Grenadier 90s out. Alright, so now what is going to be my next move? We already pretty much have shut down this advance here. So next step on the list, let's get a couple of Leopard 2s on this front. How are we doing for fuel? Pretty good, I would say. Well, that guy's a little low, so we will get some logistics set up. Alright, our infantry transports have arrived. We'll get the Stuttruppen in position. Yep, there's another push coming, and it's coming straight this way. Okay. This calls for napalm! Hello there, my little command unit. You've picked the wrong bridge to cross. You've picked a very wrong bridge to cross. Okay, they did shoot down the copter there, so that is a problem. And they are sending artillery in, so now is actually a good time to push ahead and take them out that way. They clearly have, I don't know what they're shooting at us with. They have panicked those guys, so that is a problem. But now is a good time to push. T-64Bs, let's delete those. Oh, they're shooting at that. That's a problem. Okay, fortunately, I have reinforcements coming. And those reinforcements are called Apache escort variants. They only fire rockets, but they're still they'll still mess these guys up pretty good. Time to ambush these guys. Oof. Okay, have to get these guys fall back. And let's get these guys to shoot at. Alright, so yeah, we need to fall back, so we will reverse. A seed plane took out our radar, that's unfortunate. They're trying to take us so they can actually do an airstrike on us, that's a problem. Okay, so next part of the plan. So I don't want to lose all my stuff here. Make a mad dash for their air support. Alright, we're going to try to... JC says hello, Ace. Hello, JC. We're going to try to hit the enemy Alright, so the strategy is this. We're going to keep deleting the ever-living daylights out of their stuff there, try to make a push here, and hopefully we will be able to. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff fighting us, so. And some of our transports are starting to run a little low on fuel. Seem to actually be in a good spot, though, for the most part. At least point-wise we are. Alright. We're actually in a pretty tough spot because we are starting to run a little short on ammo. Time to fall back again, actually, and hopefully get some supplies. You can get some ammo, that will go a long way. Alright, so. Oh. No, run, run, you fools!
Ich wusste doch, dass sie uns nicht lange faulenzen lassen würden.
Okay. That's bad. Come on. Come on, planes. Hit him, hit him, hit him. He almost... Ah, he got us. Well, we got them back, but still not good. Let's fall back, and let's see, what can we do? We still have plenty of Leopard 2A1s, so we can actually get plenty of reinforcements, and... Let's see, what do we have that can really ruin a helicopter's day? Some Apaches should do the trick. Ah, they got that. That's unfortunate. Still, we do have the advantage in points, so that is a big deal there. There, we'll just regroup those into one bigger formation, and they'll be able to shoot down. Come on. Shoot him. There we go. Some cargo helicopters. Alright, so what do we have that can shoot that down? Not a whole lot. I have an idea. These bad boys are super cheap, but... Okay, so they are shooting those down. That's unfortunate, too. Right now, we still hold the advantage. What we can do is actually take this point proper, and that will be a significant advantage there. Alright, so we do have some Stinger infantry, so we will deploy some of those. And let's get more recon. Now, what do we have that can really mess up some things here? I can deploy some napalm if I really want, once the points get up high enough. I do want to actually get these guys farther up so they aren't shot at. Let's get some martyr here. So good infantry, but we get a lot. But what we're really getting here, admittedly, is the martyr vehicle itself. Okay, these units aren't particularly good as far as range is concerned, but they will mess up aircraft that come near them, including airplanes. Now, having 6 Leopards like that should be good. Patrickson Joseph asks, could you please reaction to a YouTuber fanfic series called Star Wars vs. Warhammer 40k? Please do, maybe with friends, that would be good entertainment. Maybe. They did shoot at that, but let the chaos begin. Oop. So they are making a major push through there. Actually, if they're going to keep sending stuff to die to my cheap anti-air-ish units, I might as well keep sending these things over there to shoot them up. That should be plenty there now. Okay. Clearly they're planning a big push into the center here. And they even have a tank with them this time. And the tank instantly died. Okay. Our big push is pretty much ready to go. We're going to be running their day. And they even made the mistake of sending in some Hinds. This is going to be glorious. Come on. I still have the Stinger, so I should hopefully be able to do something with that. Ooh.
Alles, was durch die Luft fliegt, wird von uns erledigt.
Alright. Well, they are sending in infantry after us, but it's not going to go particularly well for them, I don't think. Okay. We will move fast this way. Try to draw them back. They're just out of range. I can close that distance. Oh no! There we go. Now that we've gotten that settled, we're going to have reinforcements in the form... Prepare to get deleted. I'd say this formation is pretty much good to go. I do have a T-80B there, so that is one of their more advanced tanks, but we have so much stuff that's going to be pushing them that I think we should be able to just take care of it relatively quickly. He's down. And that's the end of it. A major victory. I like that. There we go. So there's a lot more to this game. It does have a bit more depth to it. That was a pretty simple-ish fight. But let's actually do... Let's do one of the campaigns, I guess. Now, I'll admit, when playing this game, it'll say some of the campaigns at varying difficulty levels, although I don't really think that's particularly true or accurate to the campaigns. For example, the Busan Pocket campaign is rated easy. Not really. But there's a reason for that, although it's kind of difficult to explain without actually playing the campaign. But instead, let's pick something a little bit different. Let's try Bear versus Dragon and show you what that's like.
November 3rd, 1978. Vietnam and the USSR signed a mutual defense treaty aimed at containing China's influence. December 25th, 1978. 2 months later, with Soviet support, Vietnam launches a full-scale invasion of Cambodia, China's ally. January 1st, 1979. Deng Xiaoping meets Jimmy Carter, seeking American support against Vietnam. February 15th, 1979. China terminates its 30-year-old Treaty of Friendship, Alliance, and Mutual Assistance with the USSR. February 17th, 1979. China invades Vietnam and warns the USSR not to interfere. February 1979. Nonetheless, the USSR sends warships and naval troops to Vietnamese waters and calls in mechanized troops to the Sino-Soviet border. Late February 1979. With its offensive bogged down in Vietnam, China realizes it can't afford to let the USSR get the upper hand and stab it in the back. March 2nd, 1979. Taking advantage of the absence of a main naval squadron and the incomplete buildup of Soviet forces, the PLA launches a surprise attack. Their objective, seizing and destroying the main Soviet supply base at Vladivostok.
What I like about these campaigns is that the historical events that they use as a staging point, a lot of that did actually historically happen. I mean, obviously, the Chinese and the Soviets did not actually go to war, but the Chinese invasion of Vietnam in response to the Vietnamese invasion of Cambodia is absolutely true, and it did absolutely put tension between the two nations, so between the Chinese and the Soviets. Alright, so, Comrade Major, our informers are adamant. The USSR is planning to attack us in a few weeks. The Politburo has therefore decided to launch a surprise offensive and capture strategic ports. You will thus attack Soviet units as soon as possible. You will capture Vladivostok before the enemy can react. This will enable our North Korean allies to lend us a hand. Yes, we are getting North Korean troops as well as Chinese in this. Then you will continue to eastwards to secure Kavalerevo without losing Vladivostok. The whole operation will have to be carried out in less than 18 days. That is pretty fast. I strongly advise you to capture the nearest enemy airfields, land your aircraft there, and neutralize the enemy's air superiority. Major Zhao Yan, would you care to add anything to this? Major, I want to remind you that the spearhead of your offensive is an armored regiment that will have to be reorganized after a long trip. You will thus have to make the decision to attack immediately with your infantry battalions, or attack the next day with the support of your tanks. This is an important decision. Take time to make it properly. I would personally, usually I use the infantry to assault what are we up against? So Motostrelki, which is RPG 7s. So this is, okay. Some anti-tank infantry, and that's that for that. Then they have some BDRM2s and Malyukas. It makes more sense in this case to fight with our infantry than it does our... Even though our infantry is crap quality militia, we can make do with that and the ZBD-86, which is basically a BMP. Now these guys are going to be a little bit tougher to fight, because they do have, okay, so they have anti-air units, they do have artillery units, but what has me worried more is their shock infantry. That could be a problem. And, okay, these guys here are tank units. Amusingly, only equipped with T-3485s on that, and some Su-122s. So some really old stuff, plus more Motostrelki. So these guys we probably can take on head-on. Our tanks should be able to do well against that. More Motostrelki, Afghansky, okay. We have 4 Luda here against 2 Sovereignty. Okay. So we could do a naval battle, admittedly. We also have a Marine regiment as well. North Korean Marines, although we can't move them quite yet, it looks like. But we can move the air support, which is A5s. These are anti-ship planes, so we can use them against the ships. So my plan is going to be, first, we will move our infantry in to attack. Technically, they said we can't really use the tanks, so probably not. But we will move them in to attack this town here. And we will see how that goes. Yeah, we are not allowed to use the tanks yet, so we can conduct the battle. Hopefully it goes in our favor. This will mainly be an infantry fight, and it's one that hopefully we should be able to win. Okay, so we have command infantry. Are these amphibious? Yes, they are. No enemy air support to worry about, so we can just get some Layrins. 1 unit of that should actually do. We will use our artillery in a mass there. We're going to have so many infantry. It's going to be insane. Yeah, I'm going to just use my entire infantry right off the bat for a major... Well, what I'm going to do is try forcing them to get into a position where they have to fight us on terrain that is of our choosing. Actually, let's move everyone over here. There we go. So we can get some recon jeeps, although that's really not that necessary. Alright, then let's move ourselves into... I think we will take up position there. We take this position, we can force them into a very carefully constructed kill zone that heavily favors us. And our... the numbers. Oh, this is going to be hilarious. It is. We actually have so many vehicles that it is causing a logistical bottleneck of sort. Ooh, there they are. There they are. Are they coming this way? I think they might be. Yes, they are. Let's get the mortar team to fall back. That was amusing. Okay. Now we can move these guys to hold position here. These guys can move position to hold the southern pass. That early rush did not go the way they were expecting, I bet. I don't even think we lost a single unit, which is nice so far. I don't expect these guys to actually hit. Actually, we'll stop. Run, recon unit, run! I mean, to be fair, all those missed, but it's still hilarious. Okay, let's get some of these guys to take up position there while we do a push with... It looks like they can either come at us from the north or the south, so taking up position is the smart move. I will actually speed this up. So I expect them to make a push somewhere. Here they come. Yes, come to my little ambush. Okay, so we've gotten the north and southern positions pretty much locked down. The only way they could really get through is if they really took some really long route down that way. I mean, if they're not going to make a push, alternatively, I could just attack the to Vladivostok point, which I probably will do.
没有我们，
I have the numbers to pull it off. Oh. Okay, so they definitely are there in strength. Now, the good news is, I don't think the game tracks transport losses really, so we should be able to get the transports we did lose replaced quickly. Though I do think we might have lost one recon unit. There we go. Alright, so that's deleted. Now they're trying to send in their Motostrelki at us. They have only a little over 100 points left, and we can probably get another 30 or so. Ooh, some transports. Oh, this is going to be... Oh! Hello there. Alright, we got him. 5 more points, we got this. Or 6 more points. Okay, actually, time to fall back. They can't see what they can't, or they can't hit what they can't see, so. Now. We pull right back front and just watch our units delete what's left. There we go. That's the end of that fight. Okay. So we got a total victory. 2 points of morale, lost 1 cohesion. And we have completely kicked them out of the area. We can now move our units, these guys, North Korean aircraft and Chinese ships, in to attack this naval squadron. Ukrainian Fedora says, sees incoming Soviet motorized column. Ukrainian Fedora says, Chinese mechanized commander. Oh no, anyway. Guardian Gamer says, I've tried getting into this game before, but other RTS have ruined my brain of any tactics required for this game. I know, it is a little different as far as these kinds of games. Okay, so apparently we do have to end the turn for some reason, which is great. Kind of hoping we could just conduct the battle right now, but apparently not. Fine. Okay, so... Aww. Actually... Okay, so what can we do now? Well... As stupid as it sounds, I almost want to make a push on these guys. Take this thing, if only so I can then just delete the entire deck of enemy units there. So can I get... No, I can't. What I was going to do is, if I could, I was going to move the tank there, which would have cut these guys off. And so if I won the battle, you know, long odds perhaps, but if I won it, I'd have then just been able to instantly delete those that entire deck right then and there. But apparently not. So instead, we will fight our little naval battle. Hopefully we will win, and if we do... Actually, this does give me an idea. I could make a push this way, perhaps. I do have some land forces I could deploy. So I could deploy a tank regiment and try sending it into position. What is the tank regiment equipped with? No, actually no. I think I'll send more of these militia. I mean, it's not a big militia force, but it'll... People's armies... Okay. These guys are proper infantry, and... Yeah, I like these guys. I will take some of these guys, please. Even though they're cheap. Even though they're... There we go. And what will I have covering them? Some additional infantry. So the plan is going to be... to hold this position here with these guys, then make our attack on Vladivostok with these guys, roll up the flank, and try to keep them pinned while we send in additional units to wreck their day. Apparently the Marine Regiment here could hopefully come in handy too. We'll go ahead and do the naval battle. Snake says, hey there, great game, great stream. Thank you very much. Okay. They do have a points advantage here. If I push them back there, I can then... Like I said, my plan is going to be to try to roll up that flank, though, strategically, and force them into a fight that they're not going to be particularly capable of winning all that well. So I do want a Luda. In fact, I want 2 Ludas. Some muskets. And I also especially want aircraft. I will order these guys over here. And my main plan is going to be to use the aircraft once we spot the enemy to ruin their day. No. I'll just order an evac on those guys. I want to keep this guy somewhat safe. Okay, we can definitely see some ships in the distance. It looks like it's both of their bad boys there, so if we can take out both of those, we could hopefully do some serious damage to them. Well, they are way off in the distance. If we take this naval sector, we can potentially... Oh, crap. There goes my Luda. Alright, so we will instead maneuver our position here. This is an air position. So that's what probably spotted us and got us killed. Alright, so instead we will attack the sovereignty here. Hopefully we can get into a good position. These guys do have anti-air, so any planes that come near us we should be able to shoot down eventually. That was a problem. Alright. Hopefully we will be able to wreck their day though.
所有建设准备完毕。
Let's actually get our airplanes out. Come on, where did he go? There you are. Actually, we will try to get these guys in. There. Now, when they fire, they should hopefully be able to fire all at once, and we should be able to just do something to him. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, we got him down to half health, but that's still not good. Alright. We need another musket. Good news is, if we take this out, that is 500 points that they have off the board. And we can even replace the two A5s we lost, if need be. So, they're down to half health. I think we do have just enough muskets.
此日漫威天下雷。
We'll turn off their missiles for now.
海域所有建设准备完毕。
Wait for these guys to get close.
回渡中。
Close-ish, that we can volley these bad boys into them.
是，为接管这片区域。是谁呼叫舰队？
Okay, what is the range on this? They're out of range. And what's more, we kinda need to do something about their air support, or their other stuff before we actually deal with that. Okay.
指挥官，舰队随时可以隐蔽。舰长，实行命令。所有舰员准备完毕。手册推进器可以左进。
Try to get close enough that we can shoot this thing down, and then we can... Technically, I might be able to send in...
前进3，神速前进。
Ah!
是谁呼叫舰队？
Well, this is not going well. I haven't played this in a while when it comes to the naval battles, so... But I do have a plan. Is he turning to face us? Yes.
탑승을 환영합니다.
That's going to be that unit deleted. Well, that's something.
안전띠 꽉 붙들어매.
Oh.
사선으로 들어가는 게 아니게 들어야겠군. 체크리스트 오케이. 준비 완료.
Alright. Kinda need to delete that sovereignty if I want any chance of actually doing something. Ah! Well, I don't think the air battle... I don't think we're going to win this particular fight.
此日漫威天下雷。
So I guess I'll... Nope. No option to just pull back, so that's unfortunate.
做好准备。
Can't really risk losing all my units, unfortunately.
首长，新的话。
So, lesson learned, don't do this. Alright, so instead I'll have to just rely mainly on the land battle to actually do something.
手册推进器可以着进。
In for a penny, in for a pound, right? Oh. Yeah, apparently they're able to still cause all kinds of chaos with their units there, which is a problem. Okay, so I will turn off weapons on these two for now. Wait until these guys get close enough that we can seriously, potentially take out this thing.
回舵中。
Oh, mostly focused on their escorts. Okay. Yeah. It's actually a good plan. Oh.
两车在进山。
Can just get into position.
所有接任准备完毕。手册推进器可以着进。
Well, there goes my plan.
两车在进山。
Okay, we actually fought off that particular attack. And they're still closing the range. Ah, they got it. Fair enough. Yeah, that was horrible. Okay, so instead we'll have to do this the good old-fashioned way. With ground troops. Alright. So what do they have to stop us? Very few infantry on that. Some good infantry on that. But mainly BMP-1s. If I can kick them out of here, we can win this fight, hopefully. Ouch! I just saw the point difference on that. Let's try with this. It's still awful. Fortunately, I have to rely on... Okay, so we'll actually use our get an anti-air unit here as well, which should be useful-ish against what we'll be facing up there. But we will go ahead and fight at Vladivostok. Yeah, fight at Vladivostok and deal with that. This is probably going to go either fantastically or horribly. Let's find out. Alright, so mainly we're going to have to... This is going to be mainly an infantry fight. So let's make it an infantry fight that we can win. This is mainly going to be close quarters fighting here, so what we need is more infantry. I want every single spot filled. And with that out of the way, where's going to be the main push? What is the range on these things? Goodish. So I could, if they go this route or that route, okay, depending on which route they take, Actually, I could take the long way around and attack that. Oh, that has actually just made me aware of something. So let's go ahead and get our remaining infantry over in this area. Their goal is going to be to try to sneak around this way. Put them there. This should be my particular setup. That's all I really have at the moment, so...
战况紧急，急速前进。
Okay, ooh, they actually took that one. So we can actually make a major push and delete right off the bat quite a few stuff.
没有我们，部队将会是瞎子。
Alright, let us move fast, and we will move and take
得快
that.
点弄清楚敌人的位置。
Actually, wait. We will move fast this way, and then we will... So a lot of transports. And radar stuff as well.
命令是什么？
Actually,
单位任命，警戒周边区域。
there goes some of their stuff.
是，团长同志。 准备就绪。敌在，我在。 有什么新发现？ 我们保证完成。党和人民在看着我们。前方需要侦查吗？我们受到攻击。侦察组准备就绪。没有我们，部队将会是瞎子。就是我们遭受了攻击。
Alright, we can hopefully... They're still pushing through, but we have done such a number to them, hopefully, that we should have stunted their advance a little bit. Oh, no, no. Fire there. Fire there. Alright. We fall back, and we will use these guys to make our final stand. I think we might actually, despite how bad things right now are, I think if we are able to somehow delete their entire, there we go, all their command units, we can hopefully win a total victory here. Some supplies, which is exactly what I need. Lead him on a merry chase. That's what I need to do with this guy. Are we doing fuel-wise? We're a little low, but we can hopefully hold on. Okay. Order this guy this way. Hopefully he can slip around here. Alright. Alright. Now, we should hopefully, there we go. Let's kill it. Kill it and let's win this fight. Okay, they have another command unit of some description in play. Not sure where, but they obviously have one. Probably something here. Nope, not that. Okay. I've actually turned this fight around a little bit. Okay. I have to assume that the last transport unit is obviously going to be somewhere there or there. Oop. There he is. So basically, we have to go all the way back and hopefully have the fuel for it. I don't think we do. Darn.
我们已经完成战斗准备，随时可以出发。 侦察组准备就绪。敌在，我在。
Well, this is turning into an interesting stream.
我们受到攻击。 我们暴露了！前线指挥部战斗通讯连接。呼叫呼叫，我们遭受了攻击。
Okay. We might just have the... At bare minimum, we can get close enough to hopefully act as some sort of fire support or something for the infantry. Somehow we actually are... Okay, we actually have the opportunity.
阴曹地府，还是敌人的归属。
Oh.
首长好，
Oh. Well, darn. I'll have to move my new units over that way. Or what few units I have left.
是，我已接管这片区域。
Well, this is turning into an interesting situation. I have two vehicles still left. That's a problem. Actually, wait. I can shoot.
我们受到攻击。我们受到攻击。我们受到攻击。
Alright, I will fire a shot over these guys. And I know this thing is over here, so... Eh. Yeah, they're gonna win this one too, darn it. I was hoping it was gonna go better than that, but... Yeah, they got me fair and square. Oh, it actually turned into a draw. And we actually... It looks like we destroyed... No, they destroyed our infantry. Or did we destroy one of... No, we destroyed one of their infantry. So it actually... weirdly went better than it should have. Now they can't win. Not with those troops anyways. They'd have to actually send in the rifle battalion there because... Huh. So it turned into a draw because of how close it was. And then we managed to somehow destroy their unit. I mean, I'll let that slide for now. I would send them to Vladivostok. Unfortunately, we know how well that went last time. Let me see if it's true what I think. Yeah, they can't actually do anything. Okay, so... we will win Vladivostok real quickly here, hopefully. So I don't think they even have any units that they can send after us. Opponent surrender. So we got them. We now control Vladivostok. I wish I had some sort of... I do technically have this bad boy, but I don't have the points for it. So if I could have potentially insta-deleted that force. So we now have some infantry that we can send in, more reinforcements that we can send into this area. As soon as we clean up these troops. I do not like the idea of having to face that down, though. Technically, I could get these things, which have Najins in them. Which I'll probably do just to deal with their fleet, but that would be about it. Now, let's go ahead and face this other battle, and I think that'll be a good time to call it. I don't know what they were using if they ran out of units, though, but okay. Anyways, we now can do pretty much the same thing we did last time, only this time we actually have a true points advantage. They do have MiG-25s, but those are fighter planes, so we don't have to worry about those. They don't have any helicopters, and they're still stuck with using... They're using Motostrelki again, and these guys again. They do have some recon units, but that is literally it. If we delete their little army there, we can push them back yet again. Okay. I'm going to rely heavily on the recoilless rifles because we are going to be seeing these guys anyways in that, or this unit type anyways. So that's the end of those. We got a lot more infantry, so these guys will be able to take out the enemy relatively easily. Plus, we even have these, which can also shoot at things. Don't want to use these too much against stuff we'll be facing, but... do I need a fob? Not really. All I need is a lot of infantry. And a lot of vehicles. I'm getting them. Now, we will move fast. We will then take our position up there and down there like before. And because we have recoilless rifles, and a lot of them,
目标地点集结待命。区域战术连线，目标地点集结。
we should be in a good position to hold the line and then and then figure out what to do.
区域战术连线，目标地点集结。
All right.
各单位待命，警戒周边区域。
Deploy some of them there,
请指示目标地
but
点。
I think the majority of my troops are going. Ooh.
然而何不待无高？我们已经完成战斗准备，随时可以出发。
Okay, now that that's out of the way, once we get into position, we'll be able to Oh, the chaos begins.
警戒周边区域。
Okay, now let's move down this way. This actually gives me an evil little idea. Maybe I could potentially, if I could get that anti-air helicopter in position, I could potentially use it to just completely surround and then proceed to cut off these guys, the enemy troops there.
敌在，我在。
Okay, so I'm pretty sure, yeah, all our anti-tank units are up the
请
north.
指示目
That's
标地
fine.
点。
Nope, some of them are here too.
坚决完成任务。
Okay, let's see what we're going to be up against. That's been, whatever it was, it died instantly. Well, that died. We know they've got enough points here to get us the win because they have a command unit, and those are a minimum of 100 points. We did it. Did we actually lose anything? Oh, we actually destroyed 2 of their things. We lost a single transport to a Motostrelki. Everything else, though, we pretty much deleted. Yep, that's a total victory. And that is a good chunk of their forces also dealt with. Okay. Let's replenish our losses. R&R that. Technically, we could push these guys back, but... Actually, let's see. So they just have... They do still have the Motostrelki. But in theory, if I could push those guys back that way, I could take them out instantly in one fell swoop. And that would be fantastic. How fast can this helicopter go? Okay, so they are sending in additional troops. That could be a problem. But I will get into position. Now, let's also get this thing refit. And is there any naval forces we could deploy to help? These guys. So if we take this, we can get even more points. But we've been at it for almost 2 hours, so should I, is the big question. And we don't have the initiative anymore, so... Okay. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have to deal with that. So they've sent in some air units to try to stop me there. That's fine-ish, I guess. But should I? You know what? I'll go ahead and just call it for now. So yeah, I'll just, like I said, go ahead and call it. But yeah, we won the last things, two things, kind of ish. So, anyways, but yeah. All right. Well. We've been at it for about 100 minutes now, so yeah, I do think it's a good time to call it anyways. So this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon.